Thanks everyone for joining. As people joining, I have a few just small logistical things to go over. First, if you are a Casual Pro customer, feel free to join this Facebook group. We have about 700 people in the in here. Now, what the Facebook group is used for is not used for soliciting from investors. This is used for if you have questions, share insights, adding value. It might also become a thing where we will post some status updates, product updates, asking for advice on how should we build certain products and so on. But this is a way for you to meet your co-GPs and fund of funds and operators. So if you are a fund of fund manager, use this to find operators, and if you're an operator, use this to find more capital sources. There are some investors on there, but usually that they're unlikely to invest unless you know them for a while. Okay, so that's the Facebook group. Feel free to join, and I have to accept you. The second thing is this weekend, Friday, if you are in Las Vegas, feel free to join this conference. Philip Wang, I think he is like the part of the Wong Fu production, and then Lisa will be there. So if you're in Vegas, please attend. This is just doing a favor for a good friend of ours. There's no affiliate link or anything. But if you do use Casual Portal, I think it's CFP 25, you get I believe a 25% off. Okay, so this is just adding value to our GPs. There are some investors there, and there are also operators there. So that's the second thing. And then the last one here is we have a mastermind coming up about a month from now. This is right before the All Capital conference. So feel free to attend All Capital conference as well. That is on October 8th. And that evening, this is hosted in Plano, Texas. And the All Capital meet and greet is also that evening around Plano area. So feel free to attend. This, I want to focus to be 60% networking and 40% just educational. Okay. So this is basically for our customers. Great. So that is all the logistical things, and there might be more folks that I want to omit. So that's a really good list of attendees, 42 people. Amazing. Great. All right, let's talk about today's agenda. So today we are going to talk about CRM, and specifically talking about Casual Portal's CRM and how we are looking at CRM from a different perspective, which is what if your investor portal and CRMs are combined into a single platform? What kind of benefits do you get out of it? And I'm going to go through some very concrete and tactical examples. This will be applicable. This talk is for people who are just starting out and for folks that are super experienced. There's the old adage that marketing follows you until your business, is no longer a business. So you're gonna do marketing for the rest of your, for the duration of your business. So as long as your business is in operation, this is relevant. So this is for the beginners and for the super experienced, like the kind of the middle tier private equity firms. And we have customers in both spectrums. Cool. I'm gonna make it super tactical. There are some of the must-haves for CRM, and I'm going to go through certain examples. If you have questions and if you want to hand code a specific example during the call, feel free to put it in the chat or just raise your hand and you can speak. So this is a meeting, not a webinar. The way that this Zoom is set up. All right, cool. Let's go through a few examples. So I'm gonna go here into my Google Doc here. I will give a quick introduction of CRM in general, but we're gonna spend majority of our time going through specific examples. Okay, let's just jump straight into a classic example. You have an investor portal, and some of your investors join your portal, right? Then, so you join the portal, and what do you want to do? You want to send them a welcome email. So thank you so much for joining. You then 5 days later or 3 days later, you want to send them an email, say, hey, here's how you navigate. Here is how you look at my biography. And then maybe like 3 days later, hey, here is a link that you can leave me a review on some sort of like G2 website that like, hey, leave us a review so that we are more prominent on that review site. And maybe 5 days later, you're gonna say, hey, we have a webinar coming up. Maybe you host a weekly webinar and monthly webinar. Make sure you know about this. You don't want to cram all that information into a single email because that's like people look at it and they ignore you. You want to space out into 7 different days or 10 different days and so on. Let's think about how you might do this if your portal and your CRM are 2 separate entities. You are going to sign up for a portal You pay the $6,000 a year. Then you have to have a Zapier integration. And our customers have been asking us, hey, do you have Make? Do you have NAA? Or those are just like alternative to Zapier integration. And then you have to have your own CRM, whether that's Go High Level or Active Campaign or HubSpot. So imagine on your day to day, whenever an investor sign up, you have to go through three systems. Any one of those systems can break. Whether it's like something is not propagating to my CRM. Well, that might be your Zapier. Zapier changed their API, or that your HubSpot is down somehow, or that like you did something with it. So like you log into different portals, you have different logins. You don't have a source of truth of where your contacts are located. So that's a classic example. Just do this one simple thing. You go into three platforms. Okay. And we done it. We actually got a lot of our big customers through the integration. So Neobawa is a customer of ours. We won them because we're so good with integrations. We have some of the most sophisticated integrations when it comes to Zapier, like investment status, someone joining a portal, you add a tag, all of this get propagated to Zapier. They pipe it to Active Campaign because they have built this very, very sophisticated funnel already on Active Campaign. And here's the truth about CRMs. You probably the big GPs spend at least like $20,000, or at least $10,000 hiring people and a marketing team to build out their CRM. If that's you, we are happy to migrate all of that over. But just know that there's a whole science behind building out these pipelines. So that's how you do it if you have a CRM and the investor portal separately, three different entity logins that you have to go into. Let's check how Cashflow Portal does it with this simple automation. Okay, let me go into automations. This is what that looks like. On the automations, you can see different folders. There's a CRM webinar. Like I created a few automations for this webinar. So there is this thing called Join Portal Automation. That's on my default folder. I can drag and drop into another folder if I want to. So I'm going to click on that. This is all it is. Someone join a portal, okay? Then you send them an email, any email you want. This could be a drag and drop email. This could be a very handwritten email that you like, a simple editor without any kind of fancy logos and stuff. Then you wait 3 days. Then you assign a tag. Say, hey, these are my warm investors. If you want, you can say, I'm going to actually send them a text. Or I can just call them like wait 3 days and then send them another email. And then the email, I could have these modern kind of designs. So I can click on into any one of those design. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this guy and then I'm gonna save this one and then save to automation. So I added one more email. So this is my new email. Then so I added one more email and then I can say wait a few more days, maybe add 3 more days, and then add them a tag. So that will be my trigger. I can also say after 3 days, I am going to send them a text message. Say, hi, I saw you join our portal a few days ago. Welcome. Welcome. Let's schedule a call via and to learn more about you. So this is a personalized call, and then this is sending from my text message, sent, and then sent. You can see you are able to connect the fact that someone's joined your portal to the fact that you send them an email, wait a few days, send them a text message under the same platform. If you were to do that any other way, you also have to buy a texting plan to do that, right? So we're combining basically 4 systems onto the same thing. Okay, I hope that is a very classic example. This is like a example that our customers touch every single day. I saw a question already. The question from Drew is, does CFP have its own email system, or do you hook it up with a third-party email service provider? So we are built on top of Twilio and SendGrid, and our text messaging is through Twilio, and then our email messaging is through SendGrid. But SendGrid is a part of Twilio. They are kind of like the OG when it comes to email providers, ESPs, and our domain authority right now on there is 100%. And that's because most of our emails are targeted against transactional emails. They are sent to regular investors. And by definition, our reputation is extremely high. Furthermore, if you send more than 200 emails, we actually require you, or we strongly recommend that you connect with your own email address so that it's sent through your signature. We're still the carrier, but you are using your domain authority to determine whether they land in their inbox or not. So our spam rate is actually very, very good. That's because we are focused on just investments and not being a general purpose email provider. Okay, so that's that. Any questions? Let me pause here. I'm gonna pause for like 30 seconds to ask any questions. I just did a quick example. It seems very anticlimactic, but you can see if you don't have an integration, just doing this one thing is actually extremely difficult. Let me pause here for any questions here. You can, if you want to speak, you can actually raise your hand. You don't have to type out everything. And then if you if this makes sense, you can also just put it in the chat like, hey, sounds good, and so on. So I guess I want to make this super interactive. Okay. Very good. So that is one example of joining a portal. The other example is you have a lead capture form that's on your website, and they want to sign up. They want to get know more about your free ebook. And based on what they answer to the free ebook, you can do some segmentation. Okay, so let me give you an example of that. Let me go to Granite Towers. This is a great customer of ours. They moved from Juniper Square a couple years ago, and they just recently disabled their MailChimp and start using us. And so you can see on this page, the contact us form is powered by Casual Portal. And this contact us form has this opt-in for the SMS message. It also has a question whether they are accredited, sophisticated, or unknown. And they also have how did you hear about us? Okay, and they have some referral names. So what they want to do is they want to map these contacts, whatever they answer, depending on the answer, they want to put them into different pipelines. If they're accredited, maybe send them one message. If they have put in sophisticated, maybe send them more educational materials. And how they hear about us, if they hear about you through Facebook, maybe send schedule a call. And then if they heard from you from the podcast, do something else. Okay, this is how you will accomplish this feat using Casual Portal. You go into Casual Portal, also go to automations. Then you go into this need capture form or regular nurturing. Now, all of those our team can sit down with you and be of a consultant and help you set this up. And there are all kinds of cookbooks that are on our support page that you can click into it and then just kind of follow the instructions as well. So there are a lot of documentation to that effect. Okay. To show that, let me show you what the lead capture form looks like. So here is a sample lead capture form. Let's go into, say, free ebook. So think of this as a landing page. You can put anything you want there, and then there's a lead capture form. And in this form, on the right-hand side, you can put arbitrary questions. You can say, hey, there's the accreditation status, there is the SMS consent, and then I can add another field to the lead capture form. So that's how this is a drag and drop lead capture form that you can do. All right, so far so good. Then once I set up the lead capture form, let me just go into here. So-and-so fill out the form, and they send an email. You wait a couple days, you send another email. Then this is not the right. This is maybe let me give you a better example here. Okay, let's just use this example. There, right? Someone filled out the form. You send them an ebook. In the email that you send, you actually can attach an attachment, and that's how you can send an ebook. What does that look like? Let me just click into it and show you. So this is my email content. There's your free ebook. And on a regular email, you can actually attach a attachment, and that's the free ebook that you attach. Waited 5 days, send them an email like, hey, what are your goals for 2025? Wait a few more days, and then here comes the really cool part. You can do an if-else statement. If the contact lead capture form is on my free ebook, the field, the accreditation status, contains that they are accredited, then if that's the case, then I move them into a pipeline. Okay, the pipeline is maybe high potential prospects, and the pipeline is they are just a prospect, or I'm going to make a phone call right now. Okay, so there's that. Then with those people, I can send them more email, or I can send them a text message. Some people, what they like to do is they want to notify themselves. So, hey, whenever that is happening, just notify me so that I am aware that so and so is accredited. You usually use notify me when something is more urgent. So there will be another question in Granite Towers example of how soon do you want to invest? And if they want to invest with you very soon, then you're like, hey, notify me so I can do something about this person. If they are not accredited, then you probably don't want to move them into a pipeline. Then you're just gonna continue with your marketing messages. We provide the building blocks for you to build out the automation. And honestly, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. You can mix and match them, combine them, and you can build very sophisticated waterfalls. One of the things I like to do, if they're not accredited, is I'm going to delete these things, and I'm gonna delete all these things because they're not accredited. I'm gonna do enter, and then I'm gonna enter into my other automation. And my other automation is something else. It's like just a marketing regular automation. You can so it's basically like engineering coding. You have a bunch of building blocks, and then you can connect with each one of them if you want to. So far, so good. Yeah. So that is sending marketing emails. Now, imagine you try to do this and you don't have it's not integrated with your portal. Then you put them into one system, then you go to the other system to see if they're an investor. And every time when you need to look at any investor, you look at in two different places. Like, hey, where did I capture whether they're accredited or not? Oh, it's in my CRM, but it's actually in my investor portal. And which one is the source of truth? We try to avoid these things. Okay. We all know that's the problem. It just takes us a while for any investor portal to come up with a good enough of a CRM that can help solve, that can bridge the gap, because it's obviously non-trivial to build a CRM from scratch. How we build it is we don't integrate with Go High Level. We build it from scratch. Every one of those things, we actually build it from scratch. Yeah. Okay. So that is a SAM-free ebook and a segmentation. Let me pause here again for any questions so far. Make sense? Let me take a look at the questions that folks knew. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. I can see you. Yes, you are sharing. Okay, very good, very good. Maybe you have pinned. Okay, cool, great. Does the software provide investor lists or existing, or does the user need to add them? Man. So German asked the question: are we in the business of providing a tool, or are we in the business of giving you net LPs? Okay. Well, we are in the business of 99% providing a tool and 1% potentially giving you new LPs. And we are thinking about providing a concierge service where we help you do the marketing, post on LinkedIn, and nurture them and so on. But that's a different type of business. We could go down that route. So far, we have not. What we provide is we are a tech-first company, so we try to do that through technology. So what we have created is a marketplace. This is a marketplace that you can opt into. Your investors do not know you are part of that marketplace. This marketplace, think of it as a G2. Like basically, it's a review website or / it's just Airbnb of investings. It's called Investbase. It's named after Coinbase, but for investing. So it's Investbase. The most important part is your investors don't know that you're in the marketplace, because I'm a GP. I know what it's like to nurture your own investors. Your investors belong to you. We don't touch them. We don't market to them. We don't email them. We don't look at them. Okay? And that's in our terms of service. But if you're part of the Investbase, check this out. You can post your deals on Investbase. Okay, I'm gonna log into Investbase here. Yeah. So give me 1 second. Let me log into Investbase. Great. Okay, cool. Let me log into Investbase. Okay, very good. Excellent. Cool. So you can see all the public offerings. So you can put your deal on Investbase. It's actually beautiful. Okay. And you can see all the private offerings. How do you do that? You literally click a button to post your deal on Investbase. Again, we it's a separate website. So on a regular deal like this, I'm gonna go into here, regular deal, and then you can say show this on Investbase. So it's a click of a button to feature your deal. This is a benefit. This is a free benefit to you. Okay, without sacrificing any of your investors. Then, once the deal is live on Investbase, people can browse it. The LPs come from our own network. We are doing the marketing to bring new investors onto this. This will be the future, but it's gonna take us 10 years to get to that future. The nice thing about this is if they say, hey, this is a file 6B, so you need to know the LP. So I'm gonna click into this person. And and then I click into it, and then I'm gonna connect with this person. When you connect with this person, it lands on your CRM. It's got all the inbound leads. These are all the people that either come from lead capture form or they can come from Investbase. Does that make sense? You don't have to do any more integration. It's unlike LinkedIn, where if people add you on LinkedIn, you have a scraping tool to scrape that and then add it to your CRM. It's go to the same CRM that you're using on Cashflow Portal. So we provide the backend. When it connect, it goes into your CRM. Then, as you can see, you can do whatever you want with them. You can basically send them an email. You can put them into an automation and so on and so forth. We do charge for the connection. We are not a broker dealer. We cannot charge per transaction. And so we are basically like a virtual year-long conference that every connection that you make on Investbase is $5 per connection. Okay. So the way you think about it is $5 per connection. If that person invests $100,000 with you, we don't charge any of that money. If they invest 3 times with you, $100,000 each time, so that's $300,000, we still charge that $5. We only charge at the time of connection. Now, not all 100 connections end up being investing with you, if that makes sense, right? So you have to do the math. How much is $50,000 worth to you? And I believe $50,000 is worth about $1,000 to most people. Okay, so maybe $2,000 for most people. So what that means is if you can get $200, like $2,000 divided by 5, if out of 400 investors you connected with, if you can get one investment out of it, it's worth the money. You are playing this probabilistic game. Okay, and that's why we are clear with the SEC. You are clear. Everyone is clear. We are just literally a virtual conference that pays per lead. It's us if you're doing a marketing on Facebook. But the nice thing is we have all the backend that can help you with automation. You basically have to pay $5 for that person's email address. Okay. Now, like, don't spend them. Like, if you spend them, like, you're not gonna convert any of them. So you usually create a very beautiful profile, and someone will connect with you, and then you accept it, and then you basically send them automation emails and so on. These are some of the biggest LPs. I also did a video with some of the LPs. These are my LPs, honestly. Yes, question. I'm sorry. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so these are my LPs, and they usually work as a software engineers at Amazon, Twitter, and and Facebook and Google. And they are very, very analytical. Okay. All right. Let me go into another question before I continue. All right. So that was a detour into Investbase. We might do a separate call on Investbase in the future. The expectation, I want to be super transparent, is we're not in the business of like publishing your deal, making a deal, and guarantee to help you raise $1 million. We believe this is a free marketplace. We should not favor any GP, and we are super, super fair. Like, there's nobody that can tell us, hey, can you put my name toward the top? No, we follow the algorithm. Okay. All right. So is a CRM a separate feature of your portal, or does it come with being a member of Cashflow Portal? CRM, you have, as part of the investor portal, you can send transactional emails for free. Okay, because those are your investors. That's a feature of Investor Portal. To give you an idea of what a transactional email looks like, this is what a transactional email looks like. These are basically your monthly updates. and these are sent to your investors. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. With the transactional emails, it's actually really cool. So I can drag and drop a chart. So I'm gonna enter a chart here, and then I'm going to say, hey, I wanna like my NOI and my NOI budgeted. So these are the KPIs I put in. I insert the chart. Look at this, the chart gets automatically inserted. Then I can tell the software, say, hey, I tell you all my KPIs. Why don't you like write a paragraph about my financials for last couple months? And then it will go off, and 5 minutes later, it will just write this paragraph. Basically, it can write your investor updates. This is all free. This is all part of the investor portal because, again, these are your investors. Okay. So we have to provide that. That's just a table stakes of the investor portal. If you want to send marketing emails, you have 200 marketing emails that you can send. You can send to 200 recipients every month. That's included for free. But if you want more than that, for the same reason that you have to pay ActiveCampaign and HubSpot, you also have to pay for our marketing module. So it's basically replacing your ActiveCampaign and your HubSpot and your Go High Level. Okay, and our price starts at $19 per month. This is at the time of recording. In the next quarter, we're gonna increase the baseline to $49, and then a year from now, it's probably gonna be $99, which is the same as Go High Level. So prices will increase. So this is at the time of recording. Someone else watching the recording in the future, it's not $19 anymore. Okay, so that's that. So I hope that makes sense. All right, cool. Let's continue. All right, let's talk about number C. I know that was a lot, and feel free to ask more questions there. Number C is about marketing and sales. People often confuse what is marketing and what is sales. This is a aside. When our company joined Y Combinator, YC, this is the Silicon Valley in the Bay Area, and it's an investor or incubator for some of the biggest startups in the world, like DoorDash, Gusto, Dropbox, Stripe, Airbnb, all graduate from Y Combinator. And I remember literally the first sentence they said to me. I said, should I spend my time on sales or should I spend my time on marketing? And the first sentence they said, if you have less than 1 million customers, do sales instead of marketing. I'm going to repeat that. If you have less than 1 million customers, you should do sales and don't do marketing. Our customers are less than 1 million people in the world. There are GPs. Okay, I'm pretty sure your customers, being LPs, are also less than 1 million people. So you should focus more of your time on sales than marketing. I spend a lot of time going through marketing, but that's just all automation. It's actually to help you expedite the sales. At the end, marketing doesn't do much until you can convert the sale. So sales is your dream, is your goal. Okay, and especially for your first 10 or 20 or 100 investors, focus on sales. Then you can do marketing. That's the path we took. And so we want to build the software to be very, very good on sales. What does sales look like? This is what that looks like. Let's say I want to build let's see, I want to do, okay, maybe do this one. Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, so very similar. Someone filled out the form, you send out a bunch of email and so on and so forth. And then they say they express interest on a deal. And if the deal, let me go back to the screen. Let me go back there. Let me go into automations, go into here. If I click into this one and they're saying, I am accredited, right? This is a expressing interest. You can actually put out this lead capture form to get a soft commitment. And this, you can get one lead capture form for free. So you can actually do this completely for free. The idea is that before you raise money, we design our software. So our CRM is free such that you can do most things before the launch of your portal. Okay, so there's a free account that you can sign up. You can just go to the main website, create a free account. All right, so there's that. If they say accredited, instead of sending them these like automated emails, which they don't like and build a bad impression, you want to do sales. And that moves us into a separate topic, which is pipelines. Pipelines are a sales pipeline. So I move them into this pipeline. And these are the high potential investors, aka all the accredited investors. Let me show you what that looks like. Let me head over to pipelines now. So on the left-hand side under marketing, you can see automations, texting, pipelines, lead capture, for and marketing. We just basically went through each one of them. Here's a simple pipeline. I have the stages of the pipeline. Let me zoom in here a little bit. I have the prospect. The 0% means they are 0% committed. So you give a weighted average. Then I make a phone call. So these are the people I should make a phone call. And they have stayed in this pipeline for an hour at this point. They added to the stage around earlier today. So I did that. And then the last follow-up date is February 28, 2025. So when you send an email here, the last follow-up date will update to today. This is useful because it allows you, all your team members, to see, are they following up with their prospects? You are turning this machine into a pipeline. You are turning, say, you are holding your salespeople accountable. Have you reached out to them? Eventually, you're going to have an investor relations person, and you are going to create summaries of who is working, who is getting the most deals, who's calling the most, who no time in stage should be more than X number of days, and the last follow-up date should always be like 2 weeks ago. It should not be more than 2 weeks. So this is a terrible person that's doing sales. They follow up in February of 2025, as an example. As you progress through the pipeline, like we schedule a call and so on, you can just drag and drop them into the next stage. And when you drag and drop them, the time in stage will be 0 minutes at this point, and so on. Okay, and so this is the so here you can see here the person that's responsible for this pipeline. Let me click on edit. The person that's the owner that's responsible is myself. So I can see that I'm the person that's responsible for this pipeline. So I can filter down to just seeing my opportunities. Okay, when someone, so you can add an opportunity manually. But as you can see, you can also use automation to automatically put someone into a pipeline. Pipeline is important because these are sales pipelines. And as I mentioned, if you have less than 1 million customers, i.e. investors, focus on sales than marketing. So this is gonna, your team will spend a lot of time on this page. These stages, if I click on manage pipeline, these stages are whatever you want to call them. I call them prospect, cold outreach, meeting schedule, and so on. You can give a different color. So maybe like meeting schedule is the most important part. I'm gonna give it red. Actually, and let me, this is fine. And then if I give it red, and then I can change the color. And then if I go back, and now this is the most important part, then it stands out to me. So you can customize it. Okay. So that we talk about the sales pipeline part. You only do that for the folks that are high potential investors. Now, if you are listening to this, some stuff might, like go off, like the wheels might be turning. You don't have to do that just for high potential folks. You can do it. People like to segment their investors to hedge fund investors or potential co-GPs, the underwriting pipeline, or that you are trying to sell your deal and these are the sellers. So you can use that actually for arbitrary purposes. We are creating a generic sales pipeline that you can call it whatever you want. You can morph it into different purposes. But the most common example is that nurturing period between the interest form to the actual investment. Why is that important? This is so important because when you go to context and then you go to, say, Janine, the same person that we were looking at, okay? I'm going to call in here. If you have your marketing CRM on active campaign, they schedule a call, you have a bunch of notes, then they go into the investor portal. Wouldn't you wish that you have all the notes from the past so that you can do some big data analysis? Like if you have this call, maybe this is the trigger word that I need to mention on the call so that they can convert. I believe 5 years from now, people are always talking, how do I optimize? If they go to your investor portal link, they click on a bunch of stuff. Wouldn't you want to send them a marketing email that like, hey, I see that you just click on my link and I would love to have a conversation with you, right? If they spend more than 30 seconds on your offering link, don't you want to capture that information and send them an update, right? none of that is possible if the information is not integrated. So we talk about a lot of the tactical aspects of it, but we haven't talked about the data lake and the data integration that could blossom this into like a machine, right? So here you can see someone log in, you can see that you add them to a pipeline. I switch the pipeline and I switch the pipeline again. All the marketing activities are located here. All the nodes are located here. All the pipeline stuff are located here. And then once they invest, all their investments are located here. It's very easy then to ask ChatGPT or any kind of a data analytics to create a causation. It's not to create a correlation. If they did this and they're highly correlated with them investing 100K, so that you can iterate and improve your sales process. Yeah. The reason that investor portal couldn't do it is just it's so difficult to build a CRM, and it's just like not a sexy thing to build a CRM. And so that's why like I'm super excited. And some of you might be seeing some of my sales outreaches, and there's all the automations. Every few days you get an email. You know what? We are using Cashflow Portal to send out those updates. We are using Cashflow Portal to do our own sales pipeline. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that is interesting to folks. And so let me pause here. I know that was a lot. Let me give a couple more minutes as well for folks to ask questions. Is this so useful so far? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are folks' biggest takeaway for up to this point? Yeah. What things that you like? Wow, that makes sense. Maybe you can just unmute yourself and speak.
I like the automation features behind it to where it just kind of self-automates and takes more responsibility off me from having to go through and create a pipeline. You can set it up and let it do its job for you. I think that's a fantastic feature.
I love that. Thank you. Great. Yeah. All right. Let's ask. So folks starting asking Oh yeah, someone else want to speak? Go ahead if you are unmute yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a question about earlier you're talking about like the templates, like the workflow templates. Mm-hmm. I know the workflow. Do those come in templates, or we can just plug in our own personal stuff?
Absolutely. We give you, so if I go to marketing emails and click on templates, we give you some design templates, and we give you this raising capital templates, and then we have the LP nurturing templates. So we have some automatic templates that you can use, but you can save anything into your own template, and then you can reuse those templates. That's correct.
But as far as like the workflow, how you were saying, like, the initial email goes out, and then 5 days later, like those triggers.
Yeah, those triggers right now you are setting it on your own, but very soon we're gonna create basically a CRM automation library so that you can you can use some of the libraries automations, or that like I wish that you can publish those automations into the library as well. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because that's kind of been like the hardest part, so like a lot of these CRMs and going through the processes, like those things are cool, but that initial setup takes so much time. So if there was a way that, you guys could already have like that kind of library already built out, that would be, the most beneficial. At least that's been a challenge that I've been having, just trying to build it out up front.
I love that. That makes actually a lot of sense. That reminds me that there is a whole industry of consulting firms that use Go High Level, which is a generic CRM/automation tool to build something that is specific for investors, for capital raising. And what happens is that your data will be shared to the agency. And then second is that they're charging like $199. They're basically reselling Go High Level, and their value add is just the tutorials, is the templates. So if we can do the templates ourselves, and the nice thing is that we're not creating a CRM for everyone. We're only creating CRM for the capital raisers, right? For the general partners. So yeah, that's a really good feedback. We can add that actually. Yeah. So people, some of our team members are listening here, so we'll jot it down. Thank you. All right, and then there are a couple other questions as well. So one of the questions is, can CRM be integrated into social posts? Like, can this thing have the equivalent of Buffer or Go High Level that can post onto Facebook? that is on the roadmap, but it's probably gonna be about 6 months from now, to a year from now. And so that's not everyone is asking for that, but that is something we are looking into. Okay, so thank you for that. I understand that's that. Now the other question is about log costs and context and meetings. So that is right now that's in the short-term roadmap. That is something we have heard quite a bit, and so very soon you can actually create a meeting. You just log that a meeting has happened. You're not really calling through Casual Portal. You just say, hey, a meeting has happened, so that you can, trace back what has happened. So that's the meeting. The other thing that I'm super excited to be we are working on, is the idea that right now you're still using Calendly to book that meeting, and then use Zapier to say, hey, a meeting has happened. Very soon we're gonna have scheduling, so you can replace your Calendly as well, and directly use Casual Portal. And so I think that's actually more important. Okay, so yes, so just to be clear, we are by no means saying that we are better than Go High Level. It is a billion-dollar company. It is sophisticated, very, very sophisticated as a CRM. But what we are saying is, for a specific niche of personas, having CRM integrated with Investor Portal will provide lots of benefits and help you scale your business. And it's just a matter of time that we are a feature parity with some of the best CRMs out there. Okay, so that's on that end. Okay, all right. Let me go into so talking of things that Go High Level cannot do that we can do. Let's talk about this. One of the biggest problems that we have seen is, let's say so and so have gone through your investment funnel. They are so excited investing into your deal, and this is $100,000 investment. And they sign the paperwork and they go on vacation, and you haven't heard from them for like 5 days. And you are just like, what should I do? I wish there's an automated way of sending them a reminder email that, hey, I sent you the wire instructions. Can you fund this thing? It's been 5 days. This can be automated. Now, just before I show how we automate it, how would you automate it in your world, right? You have to have the automation status. You don't need to have the investment status change, be propagated through Zapier and into your active campaign. And then you need to keep track of it. You also need to know that at the time that you send out the email, they have not funded between those 5 days. If they funded between those 5 days, you also need to but there's almost no way to know what's the investment status. So there, you create an entire workflow just to solve that one problem. And we have seen that many times from our customers. How Casual Portal solves it is go to automations, go into this one. Let me go into instruction set. So we have this beautiful thing. It's actually got a dollar sign that is very, very nice, very fitting. And what you say is, if the trigger is the dues is this apartment, and the investment status is funding instruction sign, but there's all kinds of stuff that they can do. Okay. And I think we should add, by the way, like here, interested in Investbase. That's something you could also add, by the way, which is really cool. By the way, we should add the accreditations to here. We will add that very, very soon. Okay. Then you set out this trigger. You wait 5 days. And at the end of that 5 days, you're going to do a if-else statement again, because you want to double check by the end of 5 days, have they sent the investment. So the contact status should be equal to still funding instruction sent. And this is for this deal. And I'm going to save it. Okay. So 5 days later, they have not sent their email. Okay. Then I'm going to send them an email reminder. Hey, and then this email can be highly customized. You can make it whatever you want. Say, hey, just a reminder, send your email. Then you can, wait another 5 days, and then maybe 7 days, and you can do another if-else statement, and so on and so forth. So you can build that out should you want to. If they have sent it, then you can just notify yourself that hey, so and so has already sent the email, has already funded. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so that's how you can accomplish this thing. Now, whenever I show this to the customer, they're just so anticlimactic. It's yeah, this is how you would do it. But remember, the absence of the integration, you cannot do that. It's very difficult to do that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Right? So that is a cool automation. The last thing I want to show is the reminder before the webinar. So if someone fill out a form of your webinar in like next week, so they express the webinar interest, you wait. So the nice thing about wait is that you can do a relative wait of like 5 days, or you can until a specific time. And I'm going to make this specific time to be actually 10 a.m. Actually 9 a.m. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Okay, tomorrow 9 a.m. So I can do that. Then an hour before, basically an hour before this, I set the time to be an hour before the webinar. Send them a text message, and the text message is just like raising capital via automations starts in 1 hour. Join us at this time, whatever. And then this is for my texting message. And so folks have been doing that as well. Okay, so you can do that. What we have effectively accomplished is combining marketing and investor portal such that the investors coming from this marketplace, the investor coming from lead capture form, the people that you meet at a conference can all go to the same place. Talking of conference, there's also a business card. So what you can do is you can basically, this is like hi, hello. You drag and drop this thing. You can share this business card, add it to your contact, and then they can scan that thing. And then this will be automatically added to your CRM. When you're on the go, this is actually something very interesting. Go to contacts. You can actually create a mobile shortcut, and that allows you to save it as an icon, like almost like an app on your phone. And then that, whenever you open it, you will open up this page as opposed to the main portal, and then you can add a contact right here and there. And so this is very useful when you're at a conference and on the go. And I'm sure that in a few months, the conference will come back. Okay. So that's pretty much it. We went through a lot of things. Is this useful for folks? Any feedback, any comments there, or any questions?
Can you go over the pricing one more time, please?
Yes, absolutely. Let's go over pricing. So the way to find pricing, by the way, is go to settings and then building. Okay. And you can see we divided into investor portal, CRM, underwriting. And since I already paid for it, it doesn't show me the pricing. Let me just go to the pricing page. Okay, cool. So that's the investor portal. That's a separate pricing. Today we talk about CRM. So you can see the core is included in the investor portal. The updates is included in the investor portal. The core, which is $0, you get 200 monthly marketing emails sent. You have tagging, notes, qualification, AI generated emails. You have your Zapier integration. That's all free. If you are sending more than 200, then that starts at $19 per month. That allows you to send up to 5,000 monthly emails. Okay, which is really nice. That's also up to 500 contacts. So if you have 1,500 contacts, you're talking about $49 a month or $600 a year ish. Okay, that allows you 15,000 marketing emails. Okay, we price ourselves to be the same price as Active Campaign, and a little bit cheaper, and then much cheaper than Go High Level. And once we build on more things, such as the calling part, such as the posting to LinkedIn, all that, then we will basically we will increase the price as well. So, but right now, until end of the year, this is probably the price going to be. Okay, so you can get started with $19. In fact, you can get started for free by going to the homepage. You here, create a free account. Or if you already have an account, just go ahead and click onto marketing, click onto automations, and you can create an automation actually for free. It's only when you launch the automation that you have to upgrade to the $19 per month marketing version. Okay,
got it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this will be recorded. And usually in a week or so, we will publish it on our YouTube channel, and I will send another email to everyone. And so they can watch it and then just kind of use this thing as their cookbook or their recipe to so on. Okay. If you register early, yes, this is a yearly price. So you get the same price for the whole year. Will the price increase? Like, will we turn you into the market rate when the prices increase? That we have not decided, but we have historically been very generous with our early customers. So we tend to keep the price so far, but I don't want to promise anything that we cannot keep. But so far with the investor portal, if they don't raise any more money, we just keep their price. It's only when they raise more money. And similarly, what might most likely will happen is you keep the grandfather in price until you have a lot more context. Then you are brought into the market rate if we do increase our prices. So there's a lot of advantage for locking in the price because it's a yearly price. Okay. All right. I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. We went through a lot of stuff. And the UI is actually really pretty. So you have a lot of stuff at your disposal. I hope that you will enjoy having everything combined into a centralized system. The hardest part is the migration. And we like to coin this term called one-click migration. I think we should copyright it or something. What that means is that all you have to do is you add us as a user, or you give us your login of your current CRM, and we do everything else. We'll copy all the automations over. We will copy all your templates over. We will import all your contacts. We'll set up a weekly call until you are fully migrated. We are bringing kind of the same operational excellence when it comes to investor portal migration into the CRM migration. Yeah, so far everyone that has migrated over has really enjoyed the process both during the migration and post migration. Yeah, so one-click migration.
Hey, Perry, real quick question. Thanks, it's super helpful. We're just actually at the moment of picking a CRM right now, and this looks great. But for my business partner, do you have kind of a document that shows the feature comparison with the other go high level stuff like that, just to see on one page or something exactly kind of what the differences are?
Yeah, great question. So let me see. The short answer is we need to prepare that page. Like with a fund admin here, we have kind of like this chart, right? I think what we could do is on the CRM, we're gonna create a chart as well. Like these are the features, and these are the features that we don't have. But in terms of the features, these are that. But I would love to create a one pager that shows it. I'm always cautious about comparing ourselves to what competitors have. That's because like they can add that feature and we'll be incorrect, right? But yeah, we're happy to create that, and then we might not like put it on the website and maybe just distribute it in a needed basis.
Okay,
yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and the last thing I will say is, with all things, we may not have certain things, and some of the customers that are on the call will know this, that we pride ourselves on being super flexible and responsive. So there are certain things like the investment status that because the customers ask, we implement them. And with the time in the pipeline, like the timestamp in which you enter a pipeline, these are really important. So we are very, very good at following what the customers wants and then implement something that's specific for capital raising. So anything you don't find, just have a chat with me and with the team, and then we are usually happy to implement that if we believe that that's universally useful for everyone else. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. That's our call, and we're staying over. But yeah, have a great rest of your week, and thanks for dropping by.